morning, good evening, welcome to this Fibrific live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. Just realized I've left the heater on, so just give me 1 second while I turn it off. I was like, oh yeah, I'll remember to turn that off. I'll remember. And then I didn't. So go me. Welcome to everybody jumping in. So good to see you all. I'm just shutting some stuff down in the background here. I had like one of those crazy chaotic weeks between getting ready for retreat, getting ready for my trip to Dallas, just, you know, life in general. I've actually done zero craft. There's been no craft that's going on. So I finished up to the beginning of that first row. There it is there. The beginning of the first row of the repeat. Now I do want the other, like, there we go. I'm sort of ready, right? I'm ready. I'm ready. I had everything here. I just had to pull it out of the bag. Anyway, a good morning. I'll run through and say good morning to those of you that have jumped in. Let me jump to my live streaming screen here. Morning to Amel. It's great to see you, Mel. Kelly Pole is in the house with her wrench. Good morning to Deb and Knit Spin Girl. I feel like Romper Room. That's what it was. Is Romper Room an Australian thing? I don't know. Vampire as well. And greetings and salutations from Josephine on holidays. Great to see you in the chat, Josephine. Cheryl Lacemaker has made it. Holly is here and Molly is here as well. And Amanda Vargo. Welcome, Amanda. So good to see you. Those of you jumping in, it is, it's going to be an interesting couple of months. Josephine says Romper Room is an Australian show. Okay, cool. So some of you may not know what I'm talking about. So sorry about that. Sorry. But it was a show, and one of the things I used to do was I used to say hello to all the children watching. And they say, hello, Sally. It's good to see you. So all the Sallys in Australia would think they could see them. It was very special. It was a little creepy, but it was a very good show for kids. Kids loved it. I thought it was creepy, but also Miss Jane, as you look through the magic looking glass. That's what it was, wasn't it? I see Sally. I see Kelly. I see Kirby and Bianca. And she just run through everyone's names. Rumpus Room? Was it Romper Room or Rumpus Room? I thought it was Romper Room. I don't know. We're going to have to Google it now. We're going to have to check. Okay. News on the news front. Let's just get it out of the way. This week I had my first of my post-cancer checks. Post-cancer? I mean, we've got to make sure it's not growing. So those of you that don't know, 4 months ago, I found well, I didn't find it. I was very lucky. My massage therapist found a spot on my back that looked a little bit weird. I took it to the doctor. The doctor took it out. It went away for testing, and it was stage 2 melanoma. There was a couple of interesting things about the whole process, which was my doctor actually said that I was very, very lucky because its location is like the dead center of my back. I can't see the dead center of my back, even in the mirror, like going like this. I can barely see the scar, and the scar is quite big. So, so there was that side of it. But lucky I found it because of its location, but also it was growing inside of an existing freckle. So quite a large freckle. I have a lot of freckles, but quite a large freckle on my back. And he just said, look, it could have been a lot longer before anybody noticed it, and then you would have been in some serious trouble. So we found it at stage 2. This means that removing the localized thing it was already done. I have to go back in and have a bit more removed just for some safety margin. There was clearance on the thing, but they need more clearance. And so that'll be happening soon. But I had to go in for the, gland check to make sure that nothing is moving around, and it was all good. Like, everything is good. My point being, everything is good. And they burnt a little thing on the end of my nose, like just an annoying thing. And so now I have like a big red spot on the end of my nose. So yeah, it's definitely it's been a weird week. So Romper, it is Romper. Okay, yeah. Do you know what? Me too. I never said my name. I waited and I waited and I waited, and I wrote in, and she still never said my name. So yeah, Mum said it was okay. But yeah, everything is good. Everything is coming up Chantelle this week, so that is good. So yeah, but that took some mental energy, knowing that was coming, and I was going to have to go and get that test done and everything. So that's all over for the next 6 months, which is great. So basically, it's my life. Every 6 months, I have to go and get checked for the next, I don't know how many years. It's at least 5 years every 6 months. So, and I am apparently, because I got transferred to another doctor within the surgery who specializes in skin, who specializes in skin cancers and things like that. What's it's got a particular name. I don't know what it is. I probably do know, but my brain's not telling me. But yeah, so he specializes in it, and he was going through the notes, and he was just like, "You are so damn lucky." He's like, that could, like, this. He said it was quite large. It was very large, and I had to have about 7 or 8 stitches for the initial wound to come out, and now they'll have to do more next time, which won't be till after I get back from the US, because I'm not doing anything gross. And they said it's fine to wait. I double checked that. I was just like, am I okay to wait? And he was like, oh yeah, no problems at all. So now I have to just count this again, because I need to double check in my brain. I know I should have done it before the stream, but you know what I was doing before the stream? I was sitting out in my living room patting Macy the cat, who woke me up ridiculously early this morning because she was hungry, and Tibbles, the other cat, had eaten all of her food. And so she was grumpy and hungry and cold. And because it's cold here today again. Like, we've been having a couple of nice warmer days, but it's overcast, so it hasn't warmed up. It's annoying. I don't like it. Let's have a look here. It sounded like it was a bit of a scare, but it is all good. It is all good. It was very scary. And like, basically both doctors have said that the massage therapist probably saved my life, because if she hadn't have noticed it, we probably wouldn't have noticed it for a lot longer. And stage 2 is there's different levels of stage 2, and at the stage 2 I was at, chemo was not required. So much longer, like the just before stage 3 thing, and I would have required more treatment than just actually having the localized thingy removed. I don't know what it's called. It's got a name. Lesion? I don't know. That sounds terrifying. Thingy works for me. It doesn't deserve a proper name. All right, but yes, it is very good news. I am also very glad that everything is good, and it does take some pressure off. Like, there was a lot of mental stuff going on, you know, like, okay, they've removed the thing. That's great. What next? And, you know, for me, it's always like, I'm that person that if there's a 95% chance of everything being, like, of you getting the good thing and 5% chance of getting the bad thing, I get the bad thing. So let me just do a quick count. And while I'm doing a quick count of my stitches here, I think it was fine. I should have put a clip in the end, but I didn't. While I'm doing a quick count, let me know what's in your cups today, because I've got a big giant one of tea, because I've already had 2 coffees this morning, and I've refilled the water. So let me know. Let me know in the chat. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. 2, 4, 6, 8, 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 60. 2, 4, 6, 8, 70. 2, 4, 6, 8, 80. 2, 4, 6, 8, 90. 2, 4, 6, 8, 100. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. 2, 4, 6, 8, 40. Perfect. Okay, cool. Alrighty, let me just pop my hook in there just so nothing evil happens. Boom, done. It's a beautiful day in South Australia. We're expecting heavy rain. Oh, it was a beautiful day in Elizabeth yesterday, but we're expecting rain today. Yeah, we had a beautiful day yesterday as well. Um, Coffee, otherwise known by me as the elixir of life. Yesterday morning, I had to do a blood test, and the blood test had to be done with fasting. There was no coffee being had by me in the morning, which is not good for the people around me, apparently. Then I was also thought I was having a meeting at 7 that didn't end up happening, so I was a little bit grizzly in the household. And then I went out and I actually made a coffee. Somebody suggested, who was it? Someone asked if I was taking one of my coffees with me, and I was just like, that is a great idea. So I made coffee, which was probably terrible because then my brain went, are we drinking that now? Are we having that now? Why can't we have that now? But the second I had my blood work done, I sat in the car and I had a big sip. So yeah, that was good. That was good. Frances says that she's having water now because she has finished her coffee. Not ye old crochet, knit and yarn. Hello, good to see you. Tracy, so good to see you. You're on Holly Bobs too, aren't you? Gabby is having water in her cup as well. Awesome. Okay. I'm up to the row 2. So let me just get this little guy started so that I can get into the momentum of it. And then I can keep chatting. Yeah, I think I've got it. I just, you know the drill, right? It's the first row of the pattern. Hey, Crochet with Claire has made it as well. Will you be doing a live next week, even though it's the day before retreat? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Don't worry, live will be happening. I know not everybody who watches the lives gets to come to retreat, so we'll definitely be making sure of that. Also, there will also still be Caffeinated Crafters on next Thursday night at IKEA, and even though retreat is the next day, because again, not everybody who goes to Caffeinated Crafters is going to retreat. So I still try to run everything that I can. To a degree. I will be trying to get everything organized in the lead up to, like, next week. I'll be getting things ready and boxes and bags packed and ready to go in the car on the Friday when I head up. It's Susanna. Sorry, Susanna. I'm going to be really honest. I am absolutely dreadful with names. So if your name is not in your handle, there's a good chance I'm going to keep calling you not ye old crochet, knit and yarn. Siobhan says it's a tea kind of morning. All the coffee has been consumed. Yes. That would have been me. Sorry, it was no. Look, do you know what, Leanne? It wasn't a torment as such, and I'm glad I had my coffee with me because I was getting breakfast out, and you know what it's like. Sometimes you'll get a coffee out, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. And when you haven't had coffee for like 4 hours, when you've normally would have consumed 2 coffees in that 4 hours. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Retreat is nearly here. Yes, it is. So if you don't know what we're talking about, each year I run a retreat up at where is it? It's Cunningham's Gap. And we get away for the weekend. We away Friday through to Sunday afternoon, and we have lots of sitting space where we can spread out and do large projects if we want. There's room if you want to bring your spinning wheel, if you don't want to, all that sort of stuff. There's PowerPoints. And if it's cold, they light the fire, although they do judge us. Like, I'll be like, it's cold. And they're like, it's not cold. And I'm like, it's cold for me. So they have a little laugh at me and then light the fire. But basically we are catered for the entire weekend. There's no cooking, there's no dishes. You tidy up after yourself a little bit, like, your crafting area kind of thing. And we have, basic room accommodations, but no bunks. And it's just very comfortable and relaxed weekend away where we get to craft. So yeah. Claire is coming to retreat this year, and she says retreat is the best. I'll pretend I'm cold just to have the fire. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. If we all pretend that we're cold, they'll light the fire. It could well be actually cold enough. But the weather has started warming up a bit. I know last weekend it was just frosty as. It was so cold. but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, goodness me. I'm just sitting here working and I haven't, there we go. There we go. I am working on my crochet lace top in the silver silk. So this is the last of my Fiberific Milky Way silk. Oh, hello, Louie. You've joined us. There you go. Are you gonna sit down? Do I need to move the camera? You're like just checking it out. It's like this is a different blanket. I don't know how I feel about this blanket. It's like fine, I'll sit here. But yeah, so it's the last of the Fiberific Milky Way silk. I do have a couple of single balls, but this was the last of like a 3 skein batch. And I don't even have any undyed that I can play with. So yeah. Thanks, Francis, for the reminder. I thought the camera was already on. I'm working away here like with the assumption it's on. And I'm looking at the screen and the screen shows it's not on. But anyway, yeah, Claire wasn't going to be able to make it, and then Claire could make it. So we were very lucky to be able to slip her in. Thank you for adding in the link to my lacy summer top. Thank you. It's also, the link is in the description as well. Now I am multi-streaming across to the Fiberific Facebook page as well. Now I'm not on Facebook right now, so I don't know if it's actually working. So if one of you wouldn't mind having a quick look just to double check. I don't think we've received any Facebook comments yet. No, it may not be working. I know that there's issues. So, but this is on the Facebook page, not the Fiberific Fun Zone group. So yeah, because we can't stream into the groups anymore using third-party API, which is what Ecamm is, which is the software I'm using. Oh, look at that nice big mark on the table. Sally said if I were going to retreat, I would definitely be cold. Yeah, me too, Sally. I will definitely. Well, there's a pretty darn good chance I'll be cold. I am taking some warm things. I'm taking my trackies. My cable joggers that I made out of the Sierra yarn, they'll be coming along. I know the project says it's unfinished, but they are legit wearable. It's unfinished because I haven't added the pockets. But other than that, it's all done. I have worn them around a couple of times just to wear them in. You know, you got to wear these things in. I'll be taking my hoodie just in case. Sometimes the nights get cold and you just need that little bit of extra warmth at night to get it around from the hall to the rooms. So then the hall's nice and warm, and you know your room will be nice and warm, but you got to get to the room, which is not an inside walk. It's outside on pathways, and depending on where you are, you may not even be walking undercover. So yeah, lots of different things. Oh, Sally, we're going to miss you too, but you're going on your own. You're going to go on a different adventure. We're going to be jealous of that. Definitely. Our Facebook Live seems to be working. Thank you, Chintamani. I appreciate you for letting me know. That's good to know. I mean, I don't know if anyone will watch from there, but I just thought I'd give it a try. We haven't done a live into the Facebook page for a little while. So, Cheryl said, all the great retreats are so far away from me. I'm in no man's land. Yeah, I definitely understand that, Cheryl. I know that I feel that way. Like a lot of the YouTube things that I want to do are always in the US, and I always feel like there's just no chance of me going to those. But yeah, it's just it's not you know, it's not always awesome. But do you know what you could do? I mean, you may not want to, but you might be able to set up a crafting retreat of your own. So what we've done with the Fiberific retreat is it's not a specific craft retreat, if that makes any sense. Like the channel, I'm not like crochet only or knit only or spin only or anything like that. It's like you like making things, cool, awesome. And the retreat is the same way. So I've found a venue, and that is wonderful. I went to a couple of handbag making workshops at this venue, and which I absolutely loved. And then my sewing machine went, and I haven't been. I actually still haven't had it looked at yet. Which it's like, are we talking 2 years? 2 years since it went? I think so. I think it's been 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years, but I actually think it has been. So I need to get someone to look at my sewing machine. But you know what? It's probably one of those things where it's fine now. Like if I just pulled it out and set it up, it'd probably work. I don't know. That happens sometimes. Claire, people won't know you're kidding on my private jet because I'm a YouTuber, so that means I'm rich. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, look, I totally get that, Cheryl. I totally get it. The only reason I'm going to Vid Summit, which is in Dallas in a few weeks, is because my new employer is paying for it. So otherwise I would not be able to go. It's just beyond me right now. And I'm so grateful. Like I'll be working. I won't be able to attend the conference as an attendee, so I won't get to, my time's not my own. But I also don't care. I'm also like, oh my gosh, I just get to be here. I don't care if I'm working. I will do the best job I possibly can. So maybe they'll let me come another year. So yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And I still can't get over the fact that I'm going. I'm still like, how do I put this? I have not publicly said who I'm working for. There is a reason for it. And the reason is not them. They're like, fine. They're like, you can tell whoever, we don't care. I'm still coming to terms with it. It's been a month and I'm still coming to terms. So yeah. Crocheting, Claire, and Fiberific, everyone knows YouTubers are all multi-billionaires. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's actually a long, hard road. Different areas of YouTube make better money than others. I think the ones in the worst situation are actually gamers, like for their AdSense income. And things like that. The best is like anything to do with finance. Like if you're doing it like a stock exchange channel or something like that, I think you get the best or thereabouts. But yeah, it's pretty tough going. You've got to basically be crazy big, like have millions of subscribers if you're going to survive on AdSense alone. But I don't think any creator should be working on that plan. So I'll bet she's working for Yarnspirations. No, it's not. I actually work so Fiberific is the only yarn sort of stuff I do. The rest of it is all around back end work for other YouTube channels. So some of the people I work for, like I still have some of my other freelance clients. So it's all YouTube centric work. So yeah. And I'm off to Vid Summit, which is a YouTube creators conference for creators to go to learn how to be better creators. I actually think if you are a YouTuber, you should be at this conference. It costs a lot of money to go, but it gives so much more. Claire says multiple streams of income. Let me get that on the screen. Multiple streams of income are the best in case one goes down the toilet. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they can go, like YouTube AdSense can go down the toilet at any moment. Like it can just disappear. It can just dry up. So you don't want to be relying on it, which is why we have things like channel memberships. Like I know so many of you are channel members. Like everyone with a green name on my channel is a channel member. And I even know some of the blue names, so some of the moderators, they're also green. So without the channel members, I know for a fact that I would not get income from YouTube every month because they have a minimum that they will send out. And I know for a 100% fact that without the channel members, I wouldn't get my $100 per month that I get from YouTube. And that's Australian dollars, I want to point out. So yeah, I think it just comes down to different expectations. Now, in saying that, I don't do what I tell people to do on their channels. I only live stream. I love live streaming. Live streaming's my favorite. But there's other things that you need to be doing other than just live streaming. So live streaming is awesome. But having like reviews of products and actual videos and more of my Ravelry walkthroughs and how to use different tools, like all that sort of stuff works better in the long term. Now I think I've got one stitch too many here. Let me just double checking that I haven't messed it up and put like 2 shells next to each other or 2 single crochets next to each other, because I've definitely done that before. All right, because I need to come in there. So far I'm just I can just fudge it, but I also just want to double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I think 23 is the number I want. Let's have a look. Okay, so Claire, what's your next channel going to be? Well, I think Claire's going to refocus on this one, isn't she? What, 23 is the magic number. Okay. So I just had one too many stitches, or I didn't make something quite long enough. So I'm just going to pull back this one and put an extra stitch in there, because that will be less obvious, I would think. I could be wrong, but that's what we're doing. And then into the top of that stitch. Yay! All right, round 3. Oh, and I also measured, I have about 5 grams of yarn leeway, which is just not much, but it could be enough. It might just be enough. All right. Find out. If I end up having to join with something else just to make it work, I may have to do that. Leanne's got an early pass for today. Enjoy your day out, Leanne. And then we just do that. Okay. Yeah. So it's been, a week since I've done any craft. So my hands are just not quite where they should be in the doing it on the, automatic kind of thing. Oh, was the YouTube video on knitting while traveling I posted? I didn't see it. I'll have to have a look. Where did you post it? Maybe I did see it. I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos over the last week. Still working on weaving the blanket. Are you posting the fun? I'll double check after the stream to see if I watched it or not. Sorry, Chantelle. It's been a week. It's been one of those weeks. I do plan on balling up some yarn, having it ready to go, but choosing yarn that will work either as a crochet or a knitted project, and then take both knitting needles and crochet hooks just in case. Oh, Crochet with Claire has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Claire. And they've gone to Bianca, to Dolores, to Shannon, to Knit Spin Girls, and to Talia. That is awesome. Thank you so much. For those of you that have just been gifted channel memberships, make sure your YouTube channel is attached to your Discord account, and then you'll be able to come into the members only area of the Discord, which I will be honest has not been as busy as I would like it to be lately, just because I haven't been on top of it. I've been a bit busy adjusting to my new job. But one of the things that I do try to do over there, which we probably won't do until sort of towards the end of September. So you'll still be member. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, is we do run a like a Zoom call, but through Discord. And I haven't done one for a while. Maybe I should do one sooner rather than later. Just because we haven't done one for a while. I'll have to have a look at it. Let me think about it. I don't want to promise it and then not be able to pull it off. Let me double check what I've got to get done this weekend, and we might try and get one on Saturday. So your Friday night, my Saturday, if you're in the US, Saturday for Australia. Because we're not going to get a productivity stream in next weekend. Because I'll be away at retreat. Is that right? Let me just double check the dates. I might have all the dates wrong in my brain. Let me just double check the calendar. The month of August. So 1, 2, 3. Yes, next weekend I'll be away at retreat, and that is usually a weekend for productivity streams. So yeah, sorry about that. Just there we go. You're finally here officially. Yay, Sally! Josephine says, how about a productivity stream from retreat? We'd all be very helpful. I mean, we could do a productivity stream from retreat. My phone connection works while I'm away, while I'm up on the mountain. I don't know how good it is, but I could bring what I need. It'd be a bit of a basic setup, but it could work. It could work. We wouldn't be able to do it for 3 hours though, because I have to use my mobile data, so I wouldn't get 3 hours. Maybe we could try for an hour. I will have to think about it. Let me think about it. Again, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep, but it's actually doable. It's not doable. And because I have power, I don't have to worry about my silly laptops not working because of no power situations, if that makes any sense. Like, I've got 2 laptops, right? Neither of which work without being in close proximity to a power point, and neither of which will charge off a power brick. So I have to be near a power point for them to work. And they are both dying. They're not in good condition, but they could pull off a stream, I think, especially a StreamYard stream. They can't pull off an Ecamm stream because they're not Macs, but they could pull off a StreamYard stream. So it is doable. Sally says, if not, I want all the pictures and all the videos, because Sally usually can come to retreat and she can't make it this year. I'm so sorry, Sally. It could be a bit of fun having having a thing. If you are watching from Facebook, if you could try and pop in a comment. I want to see if comments come through. I don't know if they do. I should probably open up Facebook. Now, we might have an audio issue while I mute it, okay? So if you're wearing headphones, please just be aware. I will mute it as fast as I possibly can. Alrighty, here we go. We're getting there. Going to the page. Okay. I will mute it as fast as I possibly. Okay, I think I've got it muted. Let me know if it's muted. Sally and Chintamani are over here. Thank you guys for checking that. And they do. They come through. Oh, yes. Awesome. They come over to eCan. Thank you so much for helping me test that. There is a small delay. Okay. Yeah, there's always a delay coming, like for the comments to come through into eCam. I'm going to close out Facebook now, just so that there's less chance of anything going janky. But there you go. Thank you so much. And see everybody how they got little F's next to their faces instead of the little, so we get the icon of where they're watching from. So thank you so much for testing that for me. I very much appreciate it. Oops, let's push the key back over there. Hey Lou, are you okay, big man? He's like, I don't like this blanket. I want my other blanket back, which, yeah. It's in Macy's cat carrier because Macy's now using the cat carrier as a house. We set up her cat carrier for her because she does like being in it. We had a pest inspection here last week, and we needed to be able to like contain her. So then, because she's not allowed outside at all, so if they open and close the doors and she got out, it would be bad. So we were putting her in the pet carrier. Also, she gets hyper stressed out when there's people around that she doesn't know. So she was drugged. She had the good drugs. She was in a cat carrier. But she has been sleeping in it every night since. So, or every day. Every time she's asleep, she's over in the cat carrier or in the sunny chair. So Louis still hasn't gotten his little soft blanket back yet. So he is upset. No, Louis not wearing his PJs because he's a fluffy boy at the moment. He's got extra fluffs. We only really put his PJs on when he is not a fluffy boy. So when he's just had a haircut, because he gets cold. But right now his fluff is so thick, we've actually had to extend out his harness and things like that so that they fit him. So he doesn't really, I mean, he likes his PJs, but we think he would be overly hot in them. We could be wrong. We could be making him freeze when he could have fluffy PJs on. We could be bad pet parents. But he could bring us the PJs if you really wanted them. Okay, so we're nearly through the first repeat here of this. Actually, no, we're not. We're on row 3 of row 5s, but this row is a longer row, like because of the type of stitch, it takes longer. And this second piece shouldn't take anywhere near as long as the first piece, because the first piece we had to make all sorts of, measurements and is it going to work? Is it going to fit decisions? Whereas this time round, we're just making another one the same as the other one. we go. In it goes. All right, let me have a look here. Yeah, I'm just double checking I'm not missing any chats. I don't think I am. That's good. More tea for me. There we go. Fix up that. Alrighty. Keep going. Just keep going. Get this made. Then I don't have to think about it anymore. Because I already know what I'm going to wear under it. I've got a black sort of cami that I bought a while back that you can either wear one way for it to be a V-neck or the other way for it to be a round neck, like a scoop neck kind of thing. So I'll get to decide which way I want to wear that later. And probably some black linen pants, or maybe dark blue ones. I don't know. But I have found out that I have workshop shirts, I believe, being provided for the few days of the event. So that is useful knowledge as well. But I think I need to change out of them in the evenings before heading off to the other things. So still need enough clothes to go. And I've been wearing in my comfy shoes, and I have another bag on its way. It's a little handbag. So it's been really weird for me because in the last, I want to say month, it'd be the last couple of weeks really, I have bought more handbags or bags in that month than I have in the last 5 years. So that says something. Home Rapid Repair. How's it going? Oh no, Roberto's live stream is frozen. That'd be frustrating. That would be frustrating because he's got a goal. He's got his goal of content every day for August. So, and he always drops such nuggets of information. So when I say more bags, I'm talking I'm not just talking handbags. Like, yes, I have bought some handbags. I bought some travel on bags so that they are you can't cut them. Their fabric is slash proof. Their straps are slash proof. They've got NFC protection for some of the pockets inside of the bags, things like that. And so I've got a crossbody bag that is big enough to hold my iPad in it, which I've actually been using as a handbag this last few weeks, and I'm loving it. And it's also got like little zip out pockets on the side. So I've bought a little compact umbrella that fits in one side and a water bottle fits in the other. Not a Yeti. I mean, I haven't tested. Maybe a Yeti would fit, but I think it would be heavy is my point. But maybe my little orange Yeti could fit. But anyway, so that fits that. But then I also picked up a little teeny tiny one that again is another crossbody one, but it's just big enough for my phone and my wallet. I've got a little compact wallet. So it's just big enough for my phone and wallet. So it's really good. It's basically like a crossbody, slash proof, pickpocket, not so much pickpocket proof, but pickpocket trickier. If you go and have a look at the travel on bags, they've got mechanisms to make the zippers harder to open. So it's you would notice if someone actually was able to undo the mechanism to be able to open the zip as long as you enabled it. So I've got that one, but I wanted something a little bit in the middle that was that could, did I do the change here? Yeah, that could take, maybe couldn't take my iPad, but could still take a bit more than just I want to be able to take something else, because I realized that the little bag I can't use even as a handbag at home because it doesn't fit my keys, my wallet, and my phone. So and I've got a fair look. I'm not gonna lie. I've got a fairly chunky bunch of keys. I could probably slim the keys down, but I'm not going to right now. And so this other little bag, it's a different color. Like all three bags are slightly different colors, but one is dark blue and one is like a darker teal. Whereas my little one that I'm getting now is more of like a beige. So it'll go with different outfits. They'll go with different things. I've gotten all girly with the handbags. The other thing that I bought was just a little collapsible tote just to throw in my luggage just in case I buy more yarn than I anticipate. But also my personal items bag for on the plane. I'm not a backpack person. I don't like backpacks. And so I needed something that could take, my iPad and a laptop, like, because I'll be lugging a laptop around while I'm there, but it's not mine, but I'll be lugging one around. Just having, it's basically an oversized handbag is really what it is, but it can fit everything I need for my long haul flight as well. So like a spare change of clothes and toiletries and all my liquids and my wallet and my passport and my phone and, all the things. I'm actually not bringing my keys at all. They're staying here. Home Rapid Repair says, if you purchase too many items, you could ship them home. I can, but shipping to Australia is ridiculously expensive when I'm not using all the luggage allowance that I have. So I'm taking about like maybe 3/4 packed small suitcase, and then also packing cubes. I honestly don't think I will need my extra little tote bag, but I'm going to take it just in case because, something I may find something I really want or something like that. So, yeah, I definitely want to have options. So having it with me means I don't have to think about it and know that I've got the option just in case. But yeah, shipping at home could easily cost me $100 when I've got spare luggage space. So, because I'm allowed 2 carry-on bags, like a handbag plus something else, and my personal items bag is basically it's a handbag, but just a big one. So I'm actually able to take on a tote. Like I could take on like a little hard case as well as that. So yeah, I've got my handbag, which is my personal items bag, plus this collapsible tote. And so yeah, so I'll have both of them. So and space in my suitcase. There is actually like I did a little test pack. And at this stage, there's still space in my suitcase, and my suitcase hasn't been zipped out to it's zipped down to its smaller configuration. It's a clamshell hard suitcase that you can zip out and get the extra couple of inches. It's at the smallest configuration and still not full. So yeah, because like in Australia also, I've got a lot of weight limitations on what I can carry on the plane as well. So there's that as well. Let me just get this one started. All right. But yeah, so I've got some freedom as such within my luggage at this stage. I honestly don't think I'll go that hard. I'm normally pretty good when it comes to being like overseas and shopping, but in saying that, I've never been to Dallas, so I don't know if there'll be extra things that I want to have. So who knows? Excuse me. And on my days off, I've already scoped out like a pile of yarn stores, so that are within like 20 minutes of the accommodation. So, there's potential for purchasings. Yeah. A few months ago, Knitspin Girl says, a few months ago, I won a giveaway from another yarny YouTuber in America. The postage on the box was $62 for 3 skeins of yarn. Yeah. Shipping to Australia is unbelievably expensive. It's, yeah. I mean, and shipping around Australia is also expensive. Yeah. Like I've considered this. I've considered it. There have been things I've considered. I'm taking something that I need to post to the USA, and I'm actually taking it with me, and I'll post it once I'm there as well. So I'll have to find a post office. Hopefully there's one, because I'll need to buy, postage and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. The things that we do, huh? The things that we do. And I'm hopefully meeting up with a friend while I'm there on one of my days off. So, which I don't know yet. It looked promising, but now it's in the air a little bit just because of their work commitments. So we'll see, which will be very, very fun. It's someone I haven't seen in a long, long time. So we'll see how that goes. It doesn't always work out how we want it to. Oh man, I only did 2. How far back is that? I'm going to rip that back. I can't start it off wrong, okay? Let me just double check that I haven't done any others with 2 instead of 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because yeah, sure. You know what? I could jimmy it, but I'm going to know I've jimmied it, and it's right there in like one of the obvious spots. Okay, it is just that one, but it's about the middle. How frustrating. But we're going to get it right. This top's going to look gorgeous once it's done. Like that's the thing we have to keep telling ourselves. It's going to be gorgeous once it's done. Then I don't have to think about it anymore. I'll just be able to wear it. Oh, good point. Depending on your hotel, they may be able to post items at the front desk. But I don't have like US postage packaging or anything like that. Would that be something they could also arrange? I don't know. Because it's a parcel, it's not just an envelope. That's the problem. But I never even considered that would be an option, but it makes total sense because if it's got a business center, they usually do have some way to post or something like that. So yeah, I'll definitely ask, especially if it could save me finding a post office. Oh yes, I do. I would definitely be tempted in getting a Snyder spindle posted, but he's a fair ways off, and I haven't spindle spun for a while, so I'd feel a bit guilty getting a new spindle right now. I'm in the process of saving up for a new laptop, so you know, and then we sit down and we work out. Okay, yes, we need a second car. We don't know if our car is fixable or not yet. That's still to be determined. But we have Apple tax in Australia, and I want to get a MacBook Pro. And so for a base model MacBook Pro in the configuration I want, so maybe not quite a base model, but low end level of a MacBook Pro, I'm looking at around 3,000 Australian dollars. I can pick up a decent little secondhand car for not much more than that. So it's like, do I get a car or do I get a laptop? So tricky. Hey, Rebecca Nelson, great to see you in the chat. If you are over watching on the Facebook page and you're wondering the chat that I'm talking about, we're all over on YouTube. So if you want to find us on YouTube, you can. What am I? feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Are there supposed to be chains between these? Yes, there are. There are. It's fine. It's fine. Are you okay there, Lou? I know it's not as comfortable as your other blanket, is it? It's not as squishy. I nearly went and found a second blanket for you to bulk that out with, but I didn't. I do have a student in the house, but the Apple discount is like, I thought it was like $100 off. I don't know. Is it a percentage or is it an amount? I mean, if it's a percentage, it might take more off. And I definitely still technically have a student in the house. So that could actually make a difference as well. I don't know much about the discount because so far I've never used it, which does sound dumb. We didn't use it to buy the student her laptop. So, yeah. Now this time, before I start the next row, I will double check that I have done all of the correct things. I'll come back here. Oops, I nearly put 4 into that one just for good measure. Let's have a look here. We're getting there. Now, I have been adding more projects to my Ravelry projects wish lists, and not wish lists, but bundles. I found a whole pile of like cardigans and stuff I want to make. I just don't have time to make them right now. I'm just like, ah. But one cardigan I will be making time to make is the Jethro cardigan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a few weeks back we had a big discussion. I think Jancy was the instigator on this particular one, and we were joking about how I had all this yarn that I didn't know what I was going to make with it because it was so gorgeous. And Jancy was like, could you not make that Jethro cardigan with it that you liked? And she was 100% right. So it was what got us into our Jethro make along, which will be happening over on the Discord. And so basically on August the 20th, which is my birthday, I'll be starting. Now you don't have to start at the same time. There's no like race. There's nothing like that. Because I will be having a little break while I'm away. I won't be taking it with me. It's too big a project to take overseas. So I'll be having about 8 days off it. But there will be a group of people together making the Jethro cardigan, which is a combination knit and crochet cardigan, which looks really awesome. And I love the idea of it. So I'm using the Midlands, the Cleckheaton, is it Cleckheaton Midlands? Yeah, Cleckheaton Midlands in like a pile of different colors. And I'm very much looking forward to working on that. Oh, that's right. It's a treble. Okay. Now let me just double check. Lacemaker's birthday is Cheryl's birthday is tomorrow, and Talia's is on the 12th, I think. All these good birthdays in August. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Cheryl. 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I doing? I'm counting, see if there's 3, and I just start counting them. Yes. Okay, next row, which we should have done that before we started the next row last time, but I did not. All right. Now this is a free pattern. I'm not doing a tutorial or anything like that. I'm not giving away any of the information. If you work it out, you work it out. But you can get your hands on the free pattern. The link is in the description. It's either free on her website or free to watch the YouTube tutorials. If you decide you just want a nice clean PDF, you can pay for it, which is what I did. once I realized that, yep, this is what I want to do, and I was like, the ads on the website were annoying to me. They're not in the way as such, but they were distracting for me. So once I realized, okay, yeah, no, I'm making this whole top, I was like, I'm going to give the designer some bucks because she's gone to the effort to make a really cute top and share it with us in so many ways. I know not everybody can do that. And so I appreciate that there are options there if you don't want to do that. But I've always believed that if you can, you should. Yes, no, I've missed one. I'm like, why is that pulling like that? And it's because I didn't put one in the middle. Let's have a look here. Thank you for dropping the links in there, Sally. Appreciate that. So we've got the links for both the Jethro as well as the summer lacy top, which this is the summer lacy top that I'm working on right now. Francis says I got new glasses this week. Realized how blurry everything was getting. I need to go to the optometrist and get my eyes checked. That it's been a goodly amount of time. I should probably do that sooner rather than later. I could probably have my new glasses and be used to them in time. Maybe not for retreat, but for my other trip, possibly. I don't know. Maybe wait until I come back. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not deciding today. I'm not deciding that one today. Yeah, I'm just not. uh, yeah, some days where you're just like, it's just too hard to make a decision on something like that. I can't decide that right now. That's where I'm at. Okay. Bianca says, I delayed new glasses till after a trip one time and wished I hadn't. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, will it make my enjoyment of my trip better? Possibly. I don't know. I'll I'll probably try and get in the next couple of days. I think I could probably try and get in on Friday. I've got some time Friday. So I could possibly do that. I'm trying to get all these appointments and stuff out of the way. It's all right, Rebecca. Stuff happens. Life happens. You know, it's all good. Yeah, that's yeah. You're probably right. Like I'm already going to be like in pain with my leg and all that sort of stuff. Like there's a pretty good chance that I'll do something to my leg while I'm away. It's half of the course. It's what usually happens. Oh, you'd put it off for 2 years. Yeah, I'm about 18 months over since my not overdue, but since my last checkup. So I actually got an email this week going, "Hey, you're really overdue now." So I usually go in like December, and I didn't this year. I took Abby. I made sure she went. I was right there. Uh, um, yeah, it sounds like there's a lot in your plate, Rebecca. Yeah, I get my eyes checked every year. Um, I'm of the age where your prescriptions change quicker. I used to go every 2 years, but once you hit 40, they like you to go a bit more often. And that's about when I needed my reading glasses. It was not long after I hit 40. I needed reading glasses. I never used to need reading glasses. I'm still adjusting to the fact that I need reading glasses whenever I want to read a book, and it's annoying because sometimes I just want to read a book in bed. I don't take my glasses into my bedroom. And so I just go, ugh, and just don't read. I'll listen to an audio book instead. Chintami 8 says aging should be banned. Look, I do and don't agree with that. I think that, they have to, we do, there's population controls and this is how we control it. But I'm not a big fan of the body just falling apart randomly. I think that can just go away and die in a hole. Okie dokie, artichoke. Alrighty. Then we I've got multifocal, so they only come off at bedtime. See, my distance, these are my reading glasses, so I need them for like reading the chat and doing my craft and stuff like that. They normally hang out in this room or get dropped off in the kitchen. But then my distance glasses I really only put on when I'm going to go and drive the car. Like for me to get around the house and the yard and stuff like that, I'm fine. It's not, everything's a little, like everything long is a little blurry, but like whatever. But so around home, I don't tend to wear them as much. I have to wear them if I'm driving, and if I'm going to supermarkets or something like that, I prefer to have them just so that I can navigate a little easier. Mel says, I've had reading glasses since I was 13 and now I really need them, and suddenly far away things are blurry as well. Stupid 50-year-old eyes. And that was the thing. So when I spoke to my optometrist, they said that as you age, your eye shape changes, or something changes in your eyes. Something changes shape. And those that needed distance glasses that comes in and you need them less, or the prescription on my distance glasses has gotten less, but the prescription on my reading glasses has gotten more. So, and they said that's really normal, because I was like, that's weird. And they're like, no, that's normal. So, yeah. Anyway, glasses. Got to have them if we want to focus on what we're doing. And just try to be grateful that I can just go and get them if I need them. I don't have to mess around, which I really do appreciate. It wasn't quite so easy when I was younger. Here we go. Shannon says, I've been wearing glasses since I was 6. I was surprised that my eyes got better at 60. My doctor said sometimes your eyes get better or worse. Yeah, so for me, my distance is getting better, but my reading is getting worse. So, and I have noticed over the last couple of months that it's the reading glasses need a prescription change, I think. Anyone else who wears glasses have to take them off while eating for no real reason? No. I do tend to wear my glasses like this a lot of the time, because I don't always want them. So quite often you'll see like 2 sets of glasses stacked up here. I have my readers, and I have my readers and my distance in different colors. Here's my distance. Here we go. My distance glasses are blue. So it's only it's very dark blue, but it's definitely blue. And whereas my reading glasses are grey. So I can just tell at a glance which ones I'm grabbing. So I can be like, because I like this style of glasses. So these are my distance glasses, and these are my reading glasses. And so I will just stack them up. Like, so, you know, I normally tuck the ones I don't want as much into my hair at the back. And hang on a sec. Here we go. So I've got them stacked up. So I'm good. I can actually read the screen right now because they're big and they're close. Louis, stop that, dude. Come on, you're in camera. We're going to get demonetized. I need something to chuck at him. Hey, Lulu. He's like, I'm not stopping ever. Wait, stop that. But yeah, so I'm good. Like, technically I'm good. I could craft like this, but for long amounts, it's easier on my eyes if I just put my glasses on. But I'll take these off, like, and just do the switcheroo. And my mum's like, just get multifocals. I'm like, multifocals make me sick. I've tried multifocals. I've tried bifocals. They make the line on the bifocals I really struggle with. The multifocals I just can't deal with. So I used to, many years ago, before I really needed readers all the time, was when I was crafting, I was crocheting as a stitcher, and I would need to crochet whether I felt like up to crocheting or not. So even if I was tired, and my eyes were getting tired all the time because of like I've got an eye condition, and because of that they were getting tired, which was making them harder to see the close-up work. So I had a little tiny pair of like readers just for watching that, but I could actually just sit them and watch TV over the top and then look down and do that. But they were like little half glasses. They were so cute. I still got them around somewhere. They're very cute glasses. And so that was what I did there. Francis says I can't park glasses on my head. Oh, neither can I. They just slide through my hair. So I actually have to tuck them into my hair. They don't just go over my ears. I can't just do that. They just come straight off the back. But I actually tuck them into my hair. So I don't know if you can see that, but they're in the hair. They're part of the hairstyle now. But that's what I do to keep in mind. And in saying that, I was at the food court the other day and I'd had my reader, no, my distance glasses were just sitting there, and I did this and they just slid straight off the back. Luckily it was down the back of the soft chair I was sitting on, but yeah. Alison says, but do you really need the second car? Look, and this is the thought, Alison. So you're not helping. I'm like, do I? I mean, I am trapped at home. My husband takes the car, and we live in an area that without a car, you can't really do anything. I'm not within walking distance that my niece can do of a bus or a train. He can. He's within walking distance of a bus or a train because he doesn't have busted legs, and he's also quite relatively fit and just, you know. Anyway, it's definitely, there are days when I just feel trapped, and having the car here would be nice. So yeah, but do we really need it? No, we've survived a couple of months now with one car. To a degree, he's less, him more so than me, because he basically just takes the car whenever he needs it. But I've had to start like bumming rides off people to go to things, which I hate doing, and they're very gracious and kind and nice, but it's I don't like doing it, and it's my own brain. It's not anything anyone else is saying or doing. It's just me. I like to be able to just leave when I want to leave, or go when I want to go, and that's the freedom that having your own car gives you. What have I done there? Try again. And so yeah, I do find that a little bit frustrating. Why does he? Well, because of where he works, he can't public transport it there in a reasonable. It's definitely quicker to drive. It's nearly half the time amount again, and that's if all the trains line up, because it's not just a straight train route. He's got to change trains. It goes into the city and then back out again on another line. Whereas when he drives, he can cut across. So it's much faster to drive. Otherwise, he probably would catch the train, in all honesty. But yeah, it's definitely easier for him to drive. Amanda says, I have indoor glasses that help cut down on blue light, and outdoor glasses that transition to different light environments. Oh, that's interesting. Knitspin Girl says, switching glasses all the time would drive me crazy. I wear multifocals. Look, I actually don't change them all that often. And it's only when I'm out do I take both pairs. And I very rarely am wearing any glasses at all. But when I need them, I need them. And when I'm out in environments that I'm unfamiliar in, I always have my glasses on because, you know, when I'm just pottering around house, I'm fine. I can get around most of the stuff. But when I'm, you know, out and about doing something, I take my glasses. I need to be able to focus and see and not be worried that, you know, I'm walking into a danger zone. I know, but it's we're talking an hour and a half each way. So no, he takes the car and parks there. It's not like I can just drop him off or anything like that. It's not local. So yeah, so we definitely need to get the second car back on the road. So we have an X Trail that is in otherwise perfect condition, that its automatic transmission went, and it has the a particular style of automatic transmission that is apparently very expensive to repair, and it's going to the quote that we've been given so far is $7,000 to replace it with a second-hand one that's not that much younger than what we've got. So will it just happen again once it hits that extra 50,000 Ks? Possibly. And so the next thing that we're doing is he's got a friend who's got a friend who is going to have a look at it and tell us if it can, what am I doing here? If it can be repaired. They may be able to do something and repair it rather than that, and give us a few more years on it, because we're still paying off my car. So right now he's in my Mazda and we're still paying that off. We just need something to get us through like 2 years. So, and then that's all paid off, and then we can get him another car. So, yeah. Vampire says, I'm forever switching between my glasses, otherwise I can't read jars. Look, do you know what? I've got a peeve, and I'm not the only one, I'm sure, that even when I'm wearing my reading glasses, I cannot read the nutrition value on packets. They're so tiny. I have to get my phone, take a photo, then zoom it out, and then I can read it. Like, anyone else have that same problem? Like, seriously. That's even with my glasses. I still sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It depends on what I'm looking at. But I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Why is this so small? Like, grr. That's how I feel about that. And I look at it sometimes and there's so much real estate and they've got so much branding and everything. They really could just increase it by 1 or 2 font points and it would make the world of difference. Photo with your phone is what I do too. Yeah, I do so much stuff by just a photo with my phone. Or I'll just screenshot that. And Sal says, now that I have to read all the labels for Corey's diabetes, it's so hard to read them. Yeah, like you don't realize, and because like I have to read them for like protein amounts and sugar and stuff like that. And you don't realize how hard they are to read until you have to actually read them. And I always have to, like when I'm buying anything new, I've always got to double check what kind of preservatives they're using because I'm allergic to a lot of different preservatives. So I'm like just checking that sort of stuff. So it's just like far out. Even with my reading glasses, I squint to read the ingredients. Yep. I love knitting socks and sometimes have to use the magnifier app to try to see if I've done the correct stitch. You know what? I just went out and bought a magnifier with a light. It just clamps onto the desk. It's got its little spot over there and I just drop it in. And I just bought the magnifier with the light. The biggest thing was blinglets. I realized I couldn't see what I was doing with the blinglets anymore properly. And I did an entire batch where I put the glue in the wrong spot. And so they were just like, they had to be cracked and redone because I screwed them up because I couldn't see properly. So I always do my blinglets under magnification now. So, but not that I've done any for a while, but when I do them, I have to do them under magnification. The catch with that is usually I need to, the blinglets, when I'm gluing them, I usually would sit outside to do that to have, oh, thank you. I would usually have to sit outside because the glue is really stinky. And so I really want lots of, as much possible airflow as possible. So now what I do is I set up a little spot in the living room under the ceiling fan and have all the doors and windows open. So did you close down your online shop? Yes, I did. It's still there. There's still a few things that are running out at discounted prices, but yeah, I'm closing it down. Once the stock's gone, I'm shutting it down entirely. So, well, I mean, except for Margicraft. So I'm slowly reducing and removing everything else. As they sell out, they're being pulled off the site. So it's easier to find what I've got, what I don't have, that sort of thing. But yeah, I no longer have the space for all the stock, is what it boiled down to. I lost my storage shed because during COVID, they put the rent up on it, like they doubled the rent on it, and I couldn't afford it. So I lost the storage shed, which meant that I have nowhere to put the stock. So that kind of signed that deal of death for the web store. So, you know, you can afford, you know, you work into your budgets. Like if it's a bit dearer, you just don't work out if it's 100% dearer. And when I asked them about it, because I was like, it's pretty old. And they were like, oh yeah, we increased the newer ones by even more. We took that into account. And I was just like, you are kidding. But they could charge what they wanted because there was a massive shortage. A lot of people wanted them because they were all working from home and needed extra space. So yeah, it just became unworkable and I had to make a decision, and that was the decision that got made. I'm not super happy with it, but it is what it is. And so since then, I've had to start looking for extra work because the web store covered the cost of a lot of things, including this YouTube channel. And because it's not free to have a YouTube, like it's free to have a YouTube channel, it's not free to make content. And so the other work that I'm doing is actually what covers most of the costs. So yeah. Because like, you know, I do hear people talk about, oh, you need to have as a phone and you can make YouTube content. That's great. I want to live stream and I can't live stream how I want to just from my phone. But in saying that, you don't just need a phone. You also need some lights. You also need electricity. You also need to pay for the phone bill. You also need all these other things that, you know, if you want to make videos and you want to edit them, so you need to pay for your editing software. This stuff is not like there is free stuff out there, but you get what you pay for. So there is some really great free editing softwares out there. There's a fantastic one called DaVinci Resolve. It's awesome. If you can't run it on something crappy, you need a really good laptop to run it on. So, yeah. Sorry. If I sound bitter about the whole thing, it's because I am a little bit bitter about the whole thing. Now, where am I up to? Okay. I wasn't happy that I had to make the decision. I felt cornered and boxed in. No, Rebecca, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It was a decision I didn't want to have to make, and I had to make it. We've all had to do those sorts of decisions that we didn't want to have to make, but that we had to make because we're adults. And sometimes when you're adults, it's just what has to happen. You just sometimes have to make the best decision for the situation. And it just may not be what you actually want. So, yeah. Jennifer Rivenberg, great to see you in the chat. Thanks for joining. We're still working on this top. How are you all going with your projects? Are you working along or are you just listening to me ramble? Because I feel like I'm rambling right now. Bob says my storage is now a shipping container. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I can say that the company that I was hiring my office from, they were actually shocked when I told them to come and pick it up. They were like, "Wait, what?" And I was just like, "Well, I can't afford this anymore." And they're like, "Yeah, but we didn't increase it as much as the others." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you still increased it more than what I could afford. So you can have it back. When do you want to pick it up?" So, and they're like, "Oh, um, okay." I'd say that everyone else just paid. They were very surprised. You're still working on your crochet bags, Jennifer? That's awesome. Hey Tracy, did you get all of your little gifts made that you wanted to get made, or are you still going on those? I don't want to give away what they are just in case. It's a secret. Let's keep going. Oops, what did I do there? Split the yarn. Good job, me. Oh, I went and saw a movie on the weekend. Um, it was it wasn't planned. It was a spur of the moment kind of decision. We went and saw um Wolverine and Deadpool. Now, if you haven't seen the other Deadpools, then don't see this one until you've seen the others, because it is definitely, and if you're like squeamish or don't like foul language, don't go and see it. Um, but if you like the other Deadpool movies, you will like this one. Like I avoided all the spoilers. I didn't watch anything on it, so there was lots of like, it was really good because I did avoid all that, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so good. Yeah, and I'm kind of like, my husband was like, "Come on, we haven't been to the movies in ages," and I was like, "Cause there's never anything we want to see." He goes, "But we want to see this." I was like, "Okay." So, um, you got 6 of the 10 done. That is awesome. Good work, Tracy. You're getting there. I'm currently making a lacy crochet top. The link is in the description. Um, I've had to do some adjusting to fit me. But yeah. Oh, that's right. Bianca's right. We also need to see the Loki series before you go, because Tim hadn't, I didn't realize it, but my husband hadn't seen the Loki series, and there was parts of it he didn't quite understand because he hadn't seen that series, which did all the explainers. Um, oh, Chintamani. I saw the video of those two ladies sitting in their car that left 30 minutes in because they were like, they were horrified by it. I'm like, what were they expecting to see? It's a Deadpool movie. Like, I don't understand why they were there in the first place. I don't understand why they were there. Like, what was, anyway, I saw there was these two women, and they said that Jesus told them that this wasn't for them and they had to leave. Bianca's right. It's an R-rated movie. It's an R, and it's rated for language and like gore. Like, it is an R-rated movie. And I don't know what they were expecting, because it fits in perfectly with the other Deadpool movies. It's no more gory than the other Deadpool movies. It's no more language than the other Deadpool movies. I don't understand. Anyway, I don't understand what they're expecting. Um, Sal says, unpopular opinion, not a fan of Ryan Reynolds. Oh, there you go. Look, I wouldn't say I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan, but I will say I am a fan of some of the movies he's done. Like, I don't tend to see the movies just because he's in them, but I do find that some of the movies he's done that I've seen, I haven't seen all the movies he's in. The ones I've seen, I've really enjoyed. I don't know, did that clarify anything at all? But like, if you're going to, like Holly's written here, not everyone knows what Deadpool is like. They just see Marvel and think it's going to be something else. I get that. But if you're going to go and see the third Deadpool movie, wouldn't you want to see the first couple first just so you understand it? Like, I won't go and see a third movie if I haven't seen the first two. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they hadn't seen the other movies. And that's how the comic book is. Yeah, yep. Deadpool is very irreverent. He always has been. That's kind of his charm. It's his charm. Oh yes, I did. I did wait till after the credits for sure. It's a Marvel movie. I don't see any Marvel movies without waiting till the credits are ended. But yeah, Francis hasn't seen any of the Marvel movies. Yeah, if Marvel movies aren't your jam, they're not your jam, and I get that. Yeah, he's the merc with the mouth. That's exactly what he is. Oh, Holly says I'm notorious for seeing the sequel before the first movie. Really? I can't go. If I know there's a movie before it, I make sure I see it first. And it's the same with TV series and stuff like that. Like, if I miss, like, and this used to be a really big issue before streaming services hit Australian shores, which was if I sort of saw a TV series and I was just like, I went to watch it and I've realized, hang on a second, this is the middle of a season and I couldn't watch couldn't catch it up. I didn't watch any more of it because it was just like, nope, I don't have the story. I don't have the start of it. I'm not going to just try and work it out. I'm going to wait until I can see it all. But yeah, I was just shocked. I just didn't understand what they thought they were going to see. It was a Deadpool movie. With Deadpool, you definitely NW. I don't know what that means, what NW is. But yeah, I just instantly think, okay, when I saw the first Deadpool movie, I was a little bit like, wow, that was a bit gorier than I expected. But in saying that, he also uses comedy to ease the gore, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain it because I don't do gory stuff. I don't do horror. I don't do gory. It's not my jam. But for some reason, I can deal with Deadpool because it's so funny, or at least I find it funny anyway. So I don't know. I don't know what they were expecting. I was watching it because they were like, oh, we left and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, what's this about? And I sort of was watching it and I was just like, I don't understand why you were there. So, but yes, I think you need to watch the first two because it's a full story arc. So you do need to understand a bit more. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. Because I suppose if you'd only really seen like Free Guy or something like that, or one of his movies that are more for kids, I can see why you would be shocked by the sheer amount of swearing. But yeah, and I personally did avoid every interview because I didn't want anything accidentally given away. I didn't want any spoilers, so I went in with knowing the movie existed, knowing a few friends had seen it and they liked it. That's what I went in with because also for me it was like a third movie. So I'm like, it could be total dog's breakfast. It could be really bad because it's a third movie. Holly says my dad was thinking about seeing this movie without seeing the first two, and I told him not to because it would definitely not be his thing. Yeah, like he needs to see the first ones first. Oh yeah, and I love how it crashes the fourth wall. That's the thing. I loved Free Guy. I've seen Free Guy a few times now. I really liked Free Guy. Oh, yep. Agreed. And he's always taken the Mickey out because he does fourth wall. Do you guys know what fourth walling is? It's where they actually talk to the camera. So like actors in television and movies aren't supposed to actually look directly at the camera and talk like to you, like what I'm doing now. I'm breaking the fourth wall. We're talking to each other. But in movies and stuff, even if they're looking at the camera, they're supposed to pretend that they're looking at one of the other characters. Like there's normally another actor nearby doing eye lines. So even if they're looking at the camera, they're not supposed to like interact with the camera like it's the audience. It's supposed to be like a cast member. But he doesn't do that. It's yeah. You got to watch it. He does it very well, I have to say. Mm. Looks like the sun's actually starting to come out, so that's nice. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of swearing. It is swearing heavy. If you cannot handle language, do not go. There is no way to avoid it. And if they tried to like censor it, it would just all be beep 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 beep. It would sound like someone was Morse coding a newspaper. It would be constant. Yeah. And you definitely need to see the Loki series as well to understand more of the storyline. So I didn't realize Tim hadn't seen the Loki series. He breaks the fourth wall in the comics as well. I haven't read any of the Deadpool comics. It sounds like I need to, because I very much appreciate like how he is. But yeah, there was some really good cameos and some really good like blasts from the past in this one. I really enjoyed it, which we won't spoil. We won't be spoiling it. We won't be dropping in any of the things that happened, because there are plenty of people that do want to see it that haven't seen it yet, and I don't want it ruined for them either. Oh, Alison, censoring it would wreck it. Like if you feel like it needs censoring, then you shouldn't go. It's that simple. If you feel like it's a movie that needs censoring, like, then, you know, can they censor it so I can see it? No. The answer is this movie is not for you. And sometimes we have to accept that things are sometimes not for us. Like I accept that a Hanson e-spinner is not for me, only because I can't afford one. Therefore, it is not for me. It's not too expensive. It's just outside of my budget. I think it's worth every cent that they're asking for it. I just can't afford it. And I'm the same with the laptop that I want. I can't afford it right now. I'm saving up for it. Is it too expensive? I think Australia gets hit with Apple tax, but aside from that, they're making an excellent product, so they should be able to charge what they want for it. Can I afford it right now? No, I cannot. Doesn't mean that it's not worth it. And I think this is something that we need to actually make. Having, you know, had Bendigo recently, I'm sure that there have been stall holders who've had to listen to this exact conversation, but two friends standing at your stall, and one of them talks about how it's ridiculous how expensive this yarn is. I used to get it happening over on my Fibrofix store. Like, I can't believe she's charging these prices. This is ridiculous. You know, does she honestly think she'll get this money? And the answer is, yeah, I do. And you know what? That person waiting behind you is waiting to give me that money. So you can move along. Just because you can't afford to buy something doesn't mean it's not worth it. It just means it's not for you right now. And it's something I had to understand growing up as a child in a low-income household, was that sometimes I just couldn't have what I wanted because it was outside of our budget. And just because it's outside of your budget doesn't mean it's not worth it. It just means it's outside of your budget. It's not meant for you right now. Let's have a look here. Sorry, I just imagined a censored version of Deadpool. It's a tea party with Wolverine, Deadpool, and a unicorn. Oh my gosh. Disney only wouldn't let him do one of his jokes. Yeah, I heard that it went through Disney and they were surprised at how much Disney let them do, because they were expecting a lot more censoring, like from Disney, because it's now, you know, Disney IP. I want to watch it a second time. I'm sure there's little things. The second it comes to streaming, I'll be going to see it again. Absolute. Like, I'll be like, put that on. I wonder if you can buy the notebook, like the as in the Deadpool notebook. Possibly. Like, are you talking like the big thick comic? Is that what we're talking about here? I'm just double checking. I started watching a show the other day with my daughter, and 10 minutes in there was full on sex scene. That's a bit more than adult themes. Yeah. Well, adult themes is sex scenes usually. Yeah. Venfia says, personally not a fan of Deadpool, not my thing, but Artag and the kids love it. Yeah. Alison says, but don't you think that a lot of the hand-dyed yarn prices have gone up too much over the last couple of years? Look, I do think they've gone up, but I also know that the suppliers really ramped up their prices. I don't think the dyers are making any extra money. I just think that they're trying to recoup the costs that the mills and dye, the cost of dye just went insane. I'm kind of glad I got out when I did. Like, I had to give up dyeing a few years back because of health reasons, but the cost of dye has just been insane. It's more than doubled. In some colorways, it's more than doubled. So it's definitely, like, I know that the mills really increased their prices on the undyed yarn, and then the dye went up in price as well. I just think that the costs went up. But I'm talking like this was back when I was charging $25 a skein for my hand dyed, and some of the other stall holders around me were charging $30. And I had people at my stall telling me mine was ridiculously expensive. But I just think people need to understand you can't compare hand-dyed yarn to commercial yarn. 100 grams of sock yarn, like commercially dyed, versus 100 grams of sock yarn hand-dyed are not comparable. The work that goes into it is totally different. And the commercial dyers, the commercial companies like the Paytons and the Clecketons and all those guys, they get their yarn at a totally different rate than what an indie dyer gets their yarns at. So it's like I don't know how it's just the buying power that these companies have is just crazy. So what am I doing here? Okay. So yeah, it's just, I don't think it's gone over the top. I think maybe it's out of my budget now. And with the cost of, like, I don't know about other countries, but we're having what is being touted as a cost of living crisis in Australia. And I think, like, with that going on, yes, some hand-dyed yarns have moved to I can't afford these right now, because I need to keep paying for my electricity bills. Or what have you. So I just think that they're charging the prices they have to charge, and I just can't afford them. So I don't think that they're being ridiculous. I personally, as a hand dyer, I think that we've always undercharged with the sheer amount of work that goes into hand dyeing yarn. I think we definitely undercharged for a long time. It's like comparing the buying power of Bunnings to Bob's hardware store. It's a bit like that, yeah. And it's definitely a labour of love for dyers, for sure. Because I remember one time I worked out my hourly rate after costs on a skein of yarn, and it came out to be something like $3 an hour. And that was not for speckled yarn, that was for solid yarn. $3 Australian an hour. And yeah, that's not enough. And that was per batch. That wasn't for an individual skein, that was for a batch of yarn. So yeah, I just think we don't know what's happening on the other ends. Chintamani says, I know that you can't do it for sale, but can you still do it for yourself? Technically speaking, I am able to do the occasional batch for myself. I still have to be very cautious and not use citric acid. I've got to use vinegar. But even then, I still have to be very cautious. But I can do the occasional batch for myself. But I haven't, because, and I'll tell you why, I have an addictive personality, and I know I do. I get gung-ho about things, and I go in both feet whenever I do anything. It's just how I do things. If I start a new job, I learn every single thing I can about that job and about that industry. It's just my personality. I jump in with 2 feet, and I know if I if I go in and dye myself some yarn, I'm not going to stop when I need to stop, and I'm going to make myself sick again. And so I haven't, but I want to, and I've got a plan of being able to get some hand-dyed yarn, but with me not having to be over the pot so much. So yeah, it's just one of these things. So I can, but I haven't. Alison says, I understand the increase in cost, but I think some of the price of hand-dyed skeins are getting too high. I just think maybe those particular dyes are not your dyes anymore. Let them, let them be the dye for somebody else for a while, and then you can come back to them down the track. Yeah, inflation's extremely horrible. Yeah, it's not awesome. Thrifty Crochet, it's great to see you. I have fair warning, there's no happy endings in the Deadpool comics. It can get rough sometimes and is not for everyone, at least the comic arc run that I read. Yeah, I would have to see. Yeah. And Jancy says, all of the websites selling super cheap stuff is teaching the population a misguided value system. Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. There is a couple of websites around. One that teaches people people the incorrect cost of postage and unrealistic expectations for parcel delivery, which I still shop at and love. And then there's another one that just makes things ridiculously inexpensive because it's actually your data that they're getting. They don't care about the money so much as they are getting your data and access to your phone. I'm currently making the lacy crochet. Hang on a second. I can't remember what it's called. It's a lacy summer top by Wanipa Yunka. I'm just bringing up the thing and I'll just see if I can screen share. There we go. This is what I'm making. The link is in the description, so you can go and check that out. I'm making my version a little longer and a little wider. So to fit me, but this is basically the general gist of it. So yeah. It is free. You can use it from either her website for free or the YouTube tutorials teach every step of the way, or you can do what I did and pay the $5 and get the whole pattern as a PDF. It is, it's very cute. And I think that once I've made it I'm making mine currently in silk. I think that once I've done that, I will probably end up making it in cotton as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that's what I'm currently working on. So we'll go back to there. Are you new to the channel? Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for joining in and visiting. We just randomly talk about random things while we craft. Because that's what real life's like when we go to crochet and craft groups. We randomly talk about all sorts of stuff. So I'm currently using some hand-dyed silk to make my version of it, which is it's the last batch of my hand-dyed silk, more than a single skein left. So we're talking about the cost of hand-dyed yarn and whether it's worth buying. But yeah, I personally love hand-dyed yarn. I love how it's different and how every skein is different and no one will have the exact same thing as you. I do love that, but I also understand that cost of living means that sometimes you're choosing between, something for yourself versus something for your family. So, and I don't know about you guys, but family tends to win. It's not always, but usually. Now, have I got 3 in all of those, or have I gotten sidetracked so much so that I botched them? Nope, still going good. Let's keep going. I'm going to need another sip of my tea in a second. How's everyone's drinks going? Have you all got enough drinks? Do you need to go and get some water or something else to drink while you're sitting here crafting and hanging out and chatting? I can hear the heater firing up in the living room. It sounds like a plane taking off. There is a piece of, where is it just crunchy yarn or is it actually, it definitely feels like there's actually something in the yarn there, like a burr or something. No, it was just some dust. Okay, let's try again. We're just talking about movies and all sorts of stuff. We talk about all the things all the time. That's what we do here. We talk about all the things. Game Widow says, I would like to share that I love my e-spinner. Game Widow's just recently bought the Ashford e-spinner. I worked very, very hard to pay for. You did work very hard to get the money together for that e-spinner. And I'm glad that you love it because that would be super disappointing if you didn't love it. Okay, let me zoom in on the Lou dog a bit more. There he is. He's all coiled up because he's a coldy dog. Siobhan is adding sleeve number 2 to my deep winter coat. Can't wait to see Deadpool. We love Ryan Reynolds in this house. Yeah, look, I was actually surprised that it was my husband who wanted to go and see it. I'll be honest. Yeah, I was like, so I work Saturday nights and I didn't get to bed till nearly 5 a.m. Sunday morning. And after lunch, like, so I get up late, but not late enough. For some reason, my body still wakes me up stupid early considering what time I go to bed. I normally get about 3 to 4 hours of sleep before my body's like, it's time to wake up. It's time to get up. You've slept in. And then you wake up and it's like, oh, wait. Oh, yes, you can feel like dust now because, you haven't actually had a sleep in. You've had hardly any hours of sleep. And then I can't get back to sleep is the short answer. And so anyway, so he was just like, hey, look, you're up. You're awake now. Let's go and see this movie. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try and lay down and get another couple of hours of sleep. So book our tickets for in the afternoon. So we did. We booked our tickets for the later afternoon. So, yeah. E-spinner was something happy after ending up in hospital. Yeah, because I think you end up in hospital because you work too hard. I mean, that's my theory. I'm not a doctor. Just double checking. I haven't botched any up, and I'll double check before I turn the end as well. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to pull out half a row again. Yeah. And big welcome to any of you who are watching over on Facebook. We do our multi-streaming today. We are streaming here on YouTube and Facebook. I earn nothing if you're watching on Facebook, FYI. However, if you are watching on YouTube, and there is a possibility I will get a little kickback from YouTube, which is nice. Thanks, YouTube, for making that possible. Yes. So many things. My brain is just whirling. I'm like, do I really have time to be sitting here and crafting? And the answer is yes, I do. Yes. But my brain's like, yeah, but you've got all this other stuff to do. And you've got retreat next weekend and you've got, your trip to Dallas a couple of weeks later and it's time to stress. Shall I bring it to retreat? You can if you want, but I would leave it at home. It's what like think of it this way. What would you do if something happened to it? What would you do? Like I would I'm not saying don't bring it because I would actually love to see it. But I'm also like mindful of this is a special treat and a special reward. And if something happened to it on the flight up, I think I'd be devastated. So yeah. I need a drink. I'm getting very parched. So that's where we're up to so far. I think we're doing pretty well. We're doing all right here. We only had this row when we started. So then we've gotten this row, then that row, then that row, then that row, and that row, and then half of that row. Josephine says, yes, bring it, but also what Chantelle said. Yeah, I mean, it should be small enough for carry on, but it's also a weight issue. Like, what else have you got in your carry on? So, yeah. One, two, three. Let me just double check that I've got 3 in them all so far. Do you know what movie I'd love to see a sequel of that there's not one of yet? Which I keep hearing murmurs of, but I actually haven't heard anything like super proper official. Constantine. And I thought I'd heard something that Constantine 2 was happening, but I couldn't find anything. So if anyone knows about a Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves, I would be very interested. I definitely would not put it in check luggage. Definitely not. Um, yeah. Even if it means you have to have 2 pieces to carry on, like your handbag plus another bag. Bianca says, I'd love to see that too. I love the Constantine movie. I just think it's so well made. And I would definitely love to see. I would like run, not walk, and book a ticket to a second Constantine movie. I would see it at the cinema, and that's a lot. I'm quite happy to wait until something comes to a streaming service and get to sit in my own house and not have to sit next to people and line up and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy to not do that, but I definitely would see Constantine at a cinema. Like that's how much like Deadpool, I wanted to see that. And that League of Ungentlemanly Gentlemen, I didn't know that was a thing. Like I only saw it on streaming. Did it release at a cinema? I would have seen that at a cinema. Game Widow says that my carry-on's pretty light, so I have space. So that's good. Shannon says, I'm off to bed. Everyone going to retreat. Have a wonderful time. I'll be thinking of you all. Oh, Shannon, I wish you could come too. I'll have to sort something out. Maybe 1 year I don't know. I'd love to be able to go, right, I'm having a retreat somewhere international. But it's very hard to sort out, very hard to do when you can't be there to sort it out. Bye, Vanphia. Have an awesome day. Alison says, loved Constantine, and a second would be good as long as they don't butcher. I mean, and that's always the risk, right? That's always the risk. They could always butcher it. But I have a feeling that Keanu Reeves would try to protect it. Yeah. Rebecca says, I've been kind of itching to craft again, but I haven't started anything yet. What is it that you're itching to do? Like, because you're a spinner and a knitter or crocheter, but you're a spinner as well. So maybe you could start with some spinning. Like, I mean, I'm happy to spin for no reason. I don't know if you are. Like, some people need to have like I'm spinning this wool for this project. I'm not that person. I spin as enjoyment as it is. Um, um, I haven't read any of the comics. Did see the one season that CW made. Sorry, wait. CW made a season of Constantine. I'm gonna have to go and find that. Ah, Amanda, can you clarify, pretty please? Um, I didn't think the ungentlemanly one was as good. I was hoping that, look, I had no expectations. So I went in with zero expectations. I wasn't thinking about, that anything really. I think their bad guy could have been better. Like, I think they could have had better bad guy. Um, I definitely think it had, there was things that could have been done better, but I usually do think that about movies. So, but going in with zero expectations, which is how I like to see movies. I like to go in with zero expectations and just see it for what it is. Because I'll be honest, if I go in with an expectation of anything, I tend to be disappointed. So I try really hard to not watch too much in the way of reviews, not watch anything. Yeah. Bianca says okay. I thought you said, right. I'm glad you specified that, because I thought you meant you didn't like the Ungentlemanly movie, but you didn't like the Constantine series. Amanda Vargo says it doesn't have Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I definitely need to look into it. But I also definitely understand that sometimes a TV series is not as good as a movie. And I think I would like a movie, please, with Keanu Reeves. I would like Keanu Reeves in it, to be very specific. My MacBook needs $2,000 of repairs. Just going to wait till I can get a new one. I struggle with not Apple devices. Oh my gosh. Like, how old is your MacBook? What kind is it? And what kind of repairs is $2,000 worth of repairs worth? Wow. Yeah. I've only been interested in the Macs since they became the silicon chips and their processing speeds got better. I'm a new convert to Mac, so I don't really know much about them other than the advantages that they currently give me. You haven't seen that one. It's on a streaming service. I'm not sure which streaming service I saw it on, but it's definitely on a streaming service. All right, let's see. Rebecca here does spinning, knitting, crochet, lace making, plus also like to fish, garden, and to hunt. Okay. Well, because you wanted to get into some crafting again. So I would start with something small that you can have a win with. Don't start with a big one. Start with something little. Usually for me, if I've been out of the crafting and I've lost my Crojo or something like that, I'll make a face washer. I'll go and grab a stitch dictionary. I'll go and grab some nice-ish cotton or bamboo or something a little bit nice, and just make a face washer, because I use them. I think they're great. And like a nice waffle stitch is always really nice, or something with a little bit of texture to it is really good for a face washer, because then it's like a very gentle exfoliant as well. And so it feels like a little taste of luxury, but you made it, and it's like a little quick win. And then you can decide after that, like, okay, I actually feel like making this other thing. Like, oh no, I actually felt like crocheting, not knitting, or knitting, not crocheting, or you know what I mean? Like it just opens things up a bit for you. But also it's not a huge outlay in stuff or time. So alrighty, lords and ladies, we have run over. Oh, it's on Prime. Thank you. I've got a few, so it's always tricky. So thank you so much for everybody jumping in and joining us today on this live stream. We have hit our 2 hours, believe it or not. We are at midday here in not so sunny Queensland in Australia. So I'm going to head off, but I will see you here next Thursday, unless something very dramatic happens, and then keep an eye on the community tab. If you are not a member of the Discord, the links are in the description, so go in and jump in and join that. And I will see you all next week. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye now.